Hello everyone, welcome to the lesson on data entry with form filling. I'm Hannishaa Roy and I'm doing my fourth year BTech in Computer Science in Hannishaa College of Engineering. So coming to this lesson, talking about few form filling guidelines. Like we have guidelines like a meaningful title, comprehensive instructions, and of course marking the required fields and appealing layout of the form, etc., etc. So about those guidelines, I'll be talking in this lesson. Also about dialog boxes. So don't miss out, guys. Thank
Hello everyone, welcome to the lesson on data entry with form filling. Before that, I am Hannishaa Roy doing my fourth year BTech in Computer Science in MBJ College of Engineering. I am a blogger and an intern Shala student partner, also an ACM student member. Through ACM, I have conducted many quizzes and technical competitions, and I have done certification in Core Java. Let's get started. Form filling guidelines. We have few guidelines for this form. Form should consist of meaningful title, that what exactly that form is meant to be. So looking at the title, we should be able to understand what exactly that form is meant to. And comprehensible instructions, like how the form have to be filled and what kind of data have to be filled in. So all those instructions have to be already included. And logical grouping and sequencing of fields. So whenever we see, generally they will be like name fields together, first name, last name, middle name. So those three will be together. So there should be logical grouping and sequencing of fields. Suppose first name, phone number, email ID. Does that grouping make any sense? No, right? So that is why logical grouping and sequencing of fields is important in case of form filling. Visually appealing layout of the form. Looking at the form, which user should be like, this form is pretty good, looking pretty good, it is damn attractive. So that kind of feeling should be there in user's mind. So in such a way, we need to design the form. The form have to be visually appealing. Familiar field labels, consistent terminology and abbreviations. Abbreviations should not be like too difficult to understand. So looking at that particular terminology, we should be able to understand what exactly that particular field is meant to be. Visual space and boundaries for data entry fields. Convenient cursor movement. There should be convenient cursor movement. Error correction for individual characters and entire fields as well. And error prevention whenever possible. Error messages for acceptable values. Generally, we'll be seeing only some fields accept alphanumeric values. Apart from that, special characters won't be accepted. So marking for that particular values, error messages should be available for that particular unacceptable values. And marking of required fields, like star mark fields are necessary. So these kind of instructions will be seen. So marking of required fields, explanatory messages for fields, completion signal to support user control. So these are some of the form fill-in guidelines. Now let's see the form. This is last pass is the title. Edit form fill, name, type, language. So name, personal, address, contact, credit card, bank account, custom fields, notes. So these all under personal. And next title, Mr. or Mrs. or something else, first name, middle name, last name. So this is the logical grouping of items. If title, address, contact are kept together, does that make any sense? No, right? So that is why logical grouping and sequencing of field is necessary. Visually appealing layout of the form, consistent terminology and abbreviations, marking of required fields is also necessary. If this last name or middle name or first name, whatever name is necessary, so if star mark fields are necessary, of something is necessary, so that kind of message have to be displayed by clicking on that particular field. So this is an example of form. So you can see here, completion signal to support user control. So save or cancel. Either after filling up your form, you can save it or cancel it as well. So this is how a general form looks like. Form fill-in guidelines again. Visually appealing layout of the form. Alignment creates a feeling of order and understandable. Example, the field labels name, address and city can be right justified as well. Completion signal. As I have said, it should be clear to the users what they must do when they are finished filling in the fields. Otherwise, if these save and cancel buttons are not there, then what should the user do after filling the form? So that is why it should be clear to the user that what they must do when they are finished filling in the fields. Example, submit. Now let's talk about this Yahoo form. Tell me about yourself. Your name, gender, birthday, etc. are grouped together, and email ID, password, or retyping your password is grouped together. And in case you forget your ID or password, then that particular scenario is grouped together. And after a couple of details are grouped together. So this is an example of a clear-cut form. So clear appearance of the form. After that, you can create your account or cancel your account. So this is an example of form. Clear form again, grouping of different or similar items together. So now let's talk about format specific field. Columns of information require special treatment for data entry and for display. For example, alphabetic fields are customarily left justified on entry and on display. Numeric fields may be left justified on entry, but they become right justified on display. Did you observe in time? Yes, try to observe this. Avoid entry and display of leftmost zeros in numeric fields. Dialog boxes. This is another important concept. Dialog boxes are used to perform and finish the interactions with the lot other applications. They're always derived from the other windows, which can be either a primary or a secondary window. Dialog boxes consist of OK and cancel buttons. So these are the examples of dialog boxes. For example, if you want to attach a file from your mail, so after attaching, you can click open, or if you want to cancel that file, you can either click close. So by invoking attach, then the dialog box appears, right? So this is an example of a dialog box. Now let's see about dialog box internal layout guidelines. Even this have to contain meaningful title, consistent style, top left to bottom right sequencing, consistent layouts, that is margin, grid, white spaces, line boxes, everything have to be consistent. Consistent terminology, fonts, capitalization, justification and all. Standard buttons, OK and cancel. External relationship. What is the external relationship? Smooth appearance and disappearance. Distinguishable but small boundary. Size small enough to reduce overlap problems. Yes, this is important. No overlap of required items. Clear how to complete or cancel. Suppose if there is a dialog box but without OK or cancel buttons, how do we do that? How do we cancel that? It's not possible. So that is why clear how to complete or cancel. So you can find me at unacademy.com/user/Hannishaa Roy. If you click on this link, you will be getting this follow icon. If you click on this follow icon, you will be able to follow me and get notifications whenever I upload a new lesson. Please do rate, review and also recommend if you find my lesson informative. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section, as this is a complete theory subject. You need to concentrate well. Thank you so much.